welcome to Half the Battle. Well, once again, my patrons have spoken and voted on the subject of today's video. So, well, guess I have to do this. Iron Man does whatever an iron can. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got alcoholic blood. Look out! There comes the Iron Man.
Oh, before we start, just as a reminder, when it comes to superheroes, these videos assume it's always just a specific character crossing over, not the whole Marvel or DC universe. So, Iron Man in G.I. Joe. Would that be a good idea?
Well, who is Iron Man?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Okay, well, he'd certainly be interesting in the G.I. Joe setting, just not on the G.I. Joe team itself.
Yeah, I don't think Tony Stark would join the Joes, as he was pretty anti-military. It's a shame too, since they'd have their own version of Destro that way, making their weapons. One buckethead on each team. Speaking of Destro, I think he would be a great way to introduce Iron Man. It would be a story of industrial espionage, where Destro tries to get his hands on Tony's tech, getting him involved in the whole G.I. Joe and Cobra thing.
Though, to tell you the truth, I'd mostly be interested in the sarcasm and witty banter that would follow.
This is our aircraft carrier, the USS Flagg. I've seen better. I think Tony would be spending most of his time trying to keep his tech out of the hands of both the Joes and Cobra. Or he'd give a suit to Bazooka, seeing as he gave one to a freaking 15-year-old kid. And truthfully, the Joes could use some help with armored suits, considering this is the best they can come up with themselves. Yeah, Iron Man is a bit sleeker looking. Well, not counting his original armor.
You'll note I've only been talking about the movie version of Iron Man, not the comics one.
Well, that's because I really don't know that much about his comic version. My knowledge of that boils down to A. He was an alcoholic at one time, and B. At some point he turned into an asshole and started civil war. Oh, and there's apparently a version where his entire body is made up of brain tissue for some goddamn reason. Sad fact is, most people are only familiar with the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. Though, if I'm honest, that's a pretty good version to know. So, how about toys? Do we have any that are compatible with G.I. Joe figures?
Oh my, yes! I've been showing them to you all through this video.
The best ones are from the first Iron Man movies. They look gorgeous and have some great articulation, and are in scale with G.I. Joe.
The later ones, though...
Well, the Avengers movie figures look worse and have very limited articulation. I'd avoid those and try to get the older stuff. It's weird. Hasbro used to have very detailed and very articulated Marvel and Star Wars toys. Then, around the time of Avengers Age of Ultron and Rogue One, they regressed to the number of moving parts Star Wars toys from the frickin' 70s used to have.
And you know me, I have no problem pointing out when Hasbro tries to save a few bucks and thus make a product worse.
So, these toys would be fair game for me. But I wonder if there isn't another company to blame here. A company that's also involved that could have demanded Hasbro made producing toys cheaper so they could be sold for more profit.
Huh! What company could that possibly be?
Yep, I blame Disney for this. The declining quality of both Marvel and Star Wars toys could very well be an edict from Disney, especially since Hasbro's in-house products like Transformers and G.I. Joe never really suffered this drop in quality. Anyway, there you have it. I'm all for Iron Man kicking ass with the Joes, just not as a member of their team, and there's some great toys out there to help do just that.
Yeah, kind of a short video, as I didn't have much time this week. The Comic-Con thing sorta had a domino effect. But next week, I'll be back with a review of a toy. Well, I'll see you later, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing. This is a children's mask, and therefore it's way too tight. It's actively hurting me right now. Hurting my face. My beautiful face. As far as you know.